Hi everyone, I'm Marissa Sarback. Welcome to The Buzz, Newsday's weekly series covering the hottest trends in music, movies, television, and so much more. Our next guest has starred in Bird Box, Ant-Man, and The Dark Knight, just to name a few. Staying here in the DC universe, his next project is taking him to a huge success of a franchise, the Suicide Squad. Actor, producer, and filmmaker David Dastmalchian, thank you so much for joining us. Hi, David.
Hi, how are you?
Doing very well, thank you. We are so excited to have you on. You are the iconic Polka-Dot Man in Suicide Squad 2. Now, this is the first time that we're seeing this character come off the comic book pages and onto the big screen. What has it been like for you to bring Polka-Dot Man to life?
Well, I'm not a kid anymore. I'm a grown man, but I was a kid who grew up on comic books and have continued to collect comic books my whole life. And I always loved the DC villains. They were my favorite, and especially obscure and, for lack of a better term, weird villains I found to be some of the most fun and fascinating. And so getting to be a part of bringing one of those characters to life, let alone one that is so bizarre and amazing, and then to be doing it through the vision of James Gunn, it's hard to put it in proper words. I just constantly try not to pinch myself because I don't want to wake up if it's a dream.
Yeah. When you were a kid, did you ever think you'd be in this position to be playing this character, such an iconic role? Never.
No, I grew up in Kansas. I mean, thank God the amazing power of like teachers. My mom always said, you do it, you could do what you dream of, but like teachers encouraging me and really, you know, saying that I could do it and be an actor. That's huge. And I still wrestle with like imposter syndrome. I can't believe that I get to do this and that I'm here and that this is part of my life. And I'll be standing on set looking at, there's Margot Robbie and she's Harley Quinn and she's standing, 5 feet away from me. And I don't understand how this is happening, but I try not to question it.
Well, we're excited to see it come to the big screen so everybody can enjoy it. I know Margot Robbie's there, John Cena, Idris Elba, just to name a few. And like Margot, like you mentioned, how much fun is this team to work with and then maybe to hang out with behind the scenes?
It's so awesome. The crew that James put together, both behind the camera and in front of the camera, is like it's like a circus of some of the best, most fun, most talented, most hilarious people you've ever been around. And I gotta say, every single member, and I'm not just saying this because we're doing press for the movie, but every single member of the Suicide Squad, the actors, when we would be in between takes hanging out, got very close and we laughed so hard. We worked very hard, and that laughter was necessary. And that friendship and that bond that we formed was really a beautiful thing. And we're all still very close. And I learned a lot. I always try to surround myself with people who are the best at what they do and who, set incredible examples. But going to work every day with actors like Idris, like Joel Kinnaman, like Peter, my goodness, Mr. Capaldi, one of the legends to me, the one of the best Doctor Who's ever, if not, in my opinion, the best. And then there's Margot Robbie, who just sets the gold standard of how you watch movie stars and you go, I can't believe how cool, how down to earth, how relatable, how kind, how generous, and how hardworking this person is.
Yeah, I can only imagine the hours that you guys must put in to get something like this completed. How long was that filming process for you?
We started in the late summer, early fall of 2019, and then shot all the way up until I want to say the end of February, early March of 2020. So we were working most of the time in Atlanta. We shot, which is like a second home for me and my family. We've done both of the Ant-Man movies there. I did Prisoners there. I've worked on MacGyver there and lots of stuff. So it was really wonderful to be in Atlanta with my family, making the movie and meeting these new friends. And then towards the end of production, we actually shot in Panama. And filming in Panama was an incredible experience. The people there, the crew, just the locations were magic. We got back so excited. My wife and I were like ready to go on vacation and take a breather and celebrate the fact that we just completed this huge, incredible movie. And then the pandemic began, and it was like, oh my gosh. And we've all, as you know, been through this last year and a half of the pandemic, and it feels so incredible right now to feel like we're coming out the other end of this very difficult time. And now James is going to share this incredible movie with the world, and people are now getting ready to go back to theaters. I can't wait to go to a movie theater. I almost cursed. I'm sorry. I can't wait to go to a movie theater with people and watch this incredible movie.
Does it feel surreal for you? Is this, is this one of the biggest movies that you think you've ever worked on?
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's not only one of the biggest movies I've ever had the privilege of being a part of, but it's also one of the most just incredible characters I've ever had the privilege of bringing to life. And James is unquestionably one of the most talented, prolific, masterminds of cinema working today. So the fact that I get to be a part of this with him and a part of his vision is it's incredible, man.
Yeah, he
I don't
really is.
know.
He's a
I
master
don't
at
know
what he
how to.
does.
He is, and he brings so much comedy to the darkest stuff. Like there's some dark stuff in this movie. I mean, you've got a group of people that have been pulled out of prison basically to go on a mission just to get time off of their sentences or whatever. And if they don't do exactly what they're told, their brains are going to explode. That's a dark setup, and he somehow manages to find a way to make you laugh so hard. And then when you least expect it, he just grabs your heartstrings, makes them in a beautiful way.
And he has a huge fan base for doing it. I really can't say enough how excited I am to see this movie come out. David, I want to know a little bit about the behind the scenes here. So these action scenes that we've come to really expect in the DC universe, how do they work? Are they done on a green screen? Are they out in Atlanta like you were talking about? Do you perform your own stunts?
So James has been very adamant from the beginning with this film that he wanted it to be as visceral and as kinetic as possible. So he wanted as much of the big sequences in the film to be done practically, which means without computer generated effects, as much as we could do physically, as much as they could build practically as far as a set goes. And he did it. I had never seen things done the way that he did. I mean, massive, incredible sets with real explosions, with things really falling, and they did it in a safe way. Of course, you're working with artists who are at the top of their game and in the top of their field, helping to construct and set these things up. But it still makes your heart beat up, through your chest like a million miles an hour. And I'm not the guy who is Mr. Incredible Stunt Man. You've got Margot and Idris and John and these other actors. Joel, they all had a familiarity with that kind of physical performance. That was newer for me. I have had the same stunt double since The Dark Knight, my very first movie. His name's Adam Hart, and he's an incredible stuntman. And so he was there for me and helped me a lot. But James wanted me to do as much as I felt comfortable doing and as much as I could do. So I tried my best. And there were some moments where I impressed myself with my ability to leap over things. There were some moments where I humiliated myself by falling flat on my butt. But that's the joy of filmmaking. It was people you've never seen. If you're watching this, right, you've never seen anything like this before. When you see those explosions, you see Margot Robbie flipping and jumping over things that are blowing up. She was freaking doing that. It was real.
You get a front row seat. Most people in 9-to-5 jobs, we don't see anything like that.
It's mind-blowing. It's crazy.
So I know this might be a little bit premature, David, but will there be a Suicide Squad 3? Do you see the Polka-Dot Man coming back on screen for this?
Oh man, I have no idea. I do hope that I hope everybody who's watching this and everybody around the world goes to see this film in theaters if you're able. What James created here and is going to share with everybody is going to be something, and it's perfect timing, like I was saying, with the pandemic, the world starting to feel safe and we're ready to celebrate going to the movies again. The fact that there's never been a movie like this before is going to be the perfect way to celebrate that moment collectively, if we could do it together. And I think that I think the studio or whoever makes these decisions, when you see what James has done, I can't imagine there's a world in which people wouldn't be like, get that guy back here. We need more James Gunn movies. I don't know. He's a busy man. I don't know how he finds time to do any of the stuff that he does do. I don't know how booked up he is into the future, but I certainly hope we get to see more of his vision of this world.
Well, you are definitely not the only one. David, we are seriously looking forward to seeing this come out in theaters this summer. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me. It was awesome, and I'll hopefully see you at the movies. I'll get some popcorn and we'll all kick it. Me
We
and my
will do
kids will
that.
be there. I promise. They will not talk during the movie. I'll make. Oh wait, I can't take them. They're too young. The movies are. Sorry. Okay.
Thank you, David. So excited to have you on with us. For more on actor David Dastmalchian and other Buzz guests, head on over to newsday.com/thebuzz. The Suicide Squad will be in theaters and available on HBO Max on August 6th. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsday's The Buzz. I'm Marissa Sarback.